Welcome back to another episode of It's Always the Video Game's Fault, which at this point, I might as well just make an entire series, because it's always the game's fault. It's never anything else, man. It's just gotta be the Fortnite and the Grand Theft Auto and the Call of Duty, right? So, today we'll be taking a look at a Dr. Phil episode, because it came up in my recommended, and of course, once again, and I don't know how we keep running into these scenarios, but we have parents who make video games the devil, make violent video games the devil, so this is a warning to everyone out there playing a violent video game. You're gonna become addicted, you're gonna become Satan, and in this kid's situation, you might become a school shooter, apparently. So I guess the founding principle of, becoming the next big school massacre man is playing Grand Theft Auto. So yeah, just watch out for yourself. Anyways, let's go ahead and just hop into it.
Please, your guy. Boy! You think you hard. Here I come, this is my final time. You wasn't expecting this, boy!
My son is addicted and obsessed with violent video games.
I hear your guns.
Video games are my son's #1 priority.
So video games are the kid's #1 priority, okay? I can see why that's a problem. I think anyone can see why that's a problem. I mean, he is a child at the end of the day. Lots of kids prioritize video games and playing, over like schoolwork and chores. That, I think that's just kind of part of being a kid, but at the same time, you can't really let it get out of hand. You can't let him just sit around and fail school and not prioritize or even participate in other things in life. It's not beneficial to the kid, it's not beneficial to stupid parents like this, and it's not beneficial to anybody who watches Dr. Phil and now believes that their kid playing Grand Theft Auto 5 will turn them into a complete degenerate Satan spawn, so.
He plays when he wants, where he wants, and for as long as he wants.
Sounds like the kid's making all the decisions in the household. Usually not a very good thing.
He has stayed on for up to 20 hours. He never comes out of his room to eat with us, but he will yell out from his room, "Peasant, bring me a plate."
Come to me immediately! I request backup immediately!
Wow, okay, so I think most people, if their kid was talking to them like that, would end up... This kid should consider himself somewhat lucky, because if he grew up in a household that wasn't ran by himself, that wouldn't be happening, but peasant, come to me immediately. I'm gonna take a preemptive guess and say that she obliges with his commands.
The two games that he really likes to play the most are Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite.
Well, I mean, yeah, two popular games. So I wonder who bought him Grand Theft Auto. Fortnite, anyone can download it. It's a game that you just go into the store, it's free to play, you download it, or of course you can go into like a GameStop and buy the bundle pack with like Save the World and like, I don't know, Battle Royale skins and whatnot, all that shit. Kinda stupid, if you ask me, but then again, I guess it's a little bit more convenient to just go buy that stuff if you're gonna get it anyways at the store and just download it. But anyway, the whole thing is that he can't just go into the store and buy Grand Theft Auto himself, because I don't know if you know this. There's these little things on a video game. I don't know if you guys have ever taken a really close look at them, but they have this little square in the bottom left corner that says like E for everyone, or it'll say like M for mature, 17 and up. What this does is it legally requires you to meet those guidelines in order to purchase the game. So Grand Theft Auto, which is a mature rated game, is not able to be legally bought by anybody who is not 17 or older. So this 12-year-old child did not walk into GameStop and buy Grand Theft Auto 5 because I think that GameStop is, smart enough to realize maybe it's not worth the hassle with the government to sell this kid a copy of a game. So what happened is somebody bought him the game. And now, of course, it's the game's fault. It's not the parents' fault for buying him a game he shouldn't even be playing. It's not their fault for controlling what he's playing. It's the kid's fault because he's playing the game that they bought him. To anybody who has an IQ, I would say probably higher than about 23, you can pretty much tell what the issue is with that.
He gets very excited about the number of kills because the more kills you have, the higher you go in the game.
That's literally how the video game is designed. This is something that is very clearly stated within the rating on the front of the cover. There's violence, there's killing, things like that are glorified, quote unquote, within the game. Only buy it for people who are mature enough to play it. But yeah, it's of course the game's fault that the kid gets excited about it, right?
It makes him very aggressive.
Empty it!
His favorite game right now is Grand Theft Auto.
Double barrel, bitch!
I wouldn't necessarily call this aggression, I would just call this being vulgar. I mean, he's not necessarily like attacking people or anything, he's just playing a video game, but even then I definitely agree he shouldn't be acting that way, but then again, That's the parent's decision to let him act that way, so at the end of the day, comes back on you.
It is very violent. They rob, shoot, kill, beat.
Let's empty out this.
And everything they do is demeaning to women.
Yep, everything you do inside of Fortnite is demeaning to women. Yep, you know, when you go ahead and build up and get a kill, yeah, that's demeaning to women. I mean, I can kind of see it in Grand Theft Auto because there's prostitution, but at the same time, I think most people kill the same amount of men that they do women in the game because, well, it's a video game and they're not actively seeking out women to kill in the streets. I mean, usually that's not the case, but I will say buying a prostitute and killing them for your money, yeah, that's totally possible. But yeah, you know, the whole game demeans women. When you rob a bank, demeaning women. When you buy some DLC like a fighter jet or something, that's demeaning to women. When you kill 37 men inside of a police station for your 5-star wanted level, you know, that's demeaning to women, right? Yeah, it just, the whole game, it teaches you to hate women. That's how Grand Theft Auto works. Didn't you guys know this? I've been playing since Grand Theft Auto 3, and dude, it's all killing women. It's beating women, it's robbing women, killing women. No men are even in the game, actually. It's all women. And the game actively rewards you for attacking only women and not men. Just, it all demeans women. Oh, for the love of God, man. I love parents who don't play video games, who don't understand them, but then talk about the topic. That's how most people are with everything, but it especially grinds my gear with video games.
Jiggly jiggly, I'm coming for the booty.
I don't even see what necessarily was horrible about that comment. Like, he was making a joke. He was literally making a joke. And most of the time that joke is not being made towards necessarily a woman. It's just being made in general because you're about to go fuck somebody up. Jesus, for the... Oh my God, Dr. Phil, why are you encouraging this behavior?
When my nephew is playing the video games, he's very rude and disrespectful to the people that he's playing online with.
Thank you. You didn't see anything.
He plays the game online with adults, and the language that they use is absolutely horrendous.
It is not your place to decide how other adults on a video game designed for adults and specifically sold to adults. It's not your responsibility to control how they speak. You know, it is your responsibility, however, to control how your child acts and how he speaks. Which, for somebody who is so complaining of all these different issues in these games without much knowledge of what's going on, you seem not to be doing a very good job of controlling your child.
Beep, beep. CEO coming through.
I'm gonna kill you, beat the out of you, and piss off.
And that's transferred over to his mom.
When I tell him, watch your language, he'll tell me to shut the up and
Get out.
He will turn over furniture, he breaks dishes, he has basically destroyed his room.
Okay, so now this child has actually destroyed his room and is breaking property. See, now, I don't know about you guys, I played a lot of violent video games growing up. I mean, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto since I was 3, I'm not even kidding. However, if it ever got to the point that I started punching holes through the wall and I started breaking dishes, I can assure you very quickly that shit would have been shut down. I've acted like an idiot on games before. I was that little kid in the lobby cussing people out. But if it ever got to the point where I started, like, verbally assaulting my parents and, like, busting shit in my room, there would have been no more video games to play. But yeah, it's gotta be the video game's fault that he acts that way. It's not the parent who's enabling him to act this way. No, not at all. It's the kid himself. Oh wait, no, actually, it's not even the kid. It's the game. And it's the adults playing a mature-rated game online cussing at each other who are making your kid act outlandish. It's not you who bought him the game, anything like that.
How would you like your death to be? Death by AIDS?
these violent games have desensitized him from actual pain and death. He has been bullied.
They have desensitized him to actual pain and death. Have they now? The video game, which has no real infliction of pain on your child, has desensitized him to pain and death, which he has not experienced. See, this is what you love right here. They love to say, oh, it's desensitized him to pain and trauma and conflict. You're not inflicting enough pain on your child. It's pretty obvious, you know, because if he would have acted that way in literally any other household with someone who actually ran the goddamn thing, this would have been shut down a long time ago. This would have never have been a Dr. Phil episode. I'm sure if you whip that belt up and you beat your kid a couple times across his ass cheeks, he'd straighten up really quickly.
I am scared that he will take the behaviors that he's learned in the game and retaliate. He could become another school shooter.
That is literally the most retarded thing I've ever heard somebody say. and we are not even halfway through this clip. I am utterly shocked at the ignorant comment that this woman just made, and this should serve as an example as to why some people just simply should not have children. The video game is going to make my child a school shooter. I'm afraid that the video game will make my child the next one. Okay. Am I the only one who thinks that there should be some sort of intervention for people like this?
This is something that I feel like I could deal with in 30 seconds or 3 hours, depending on how I approach this. But
Dr. Phil's about to light that ass up.
if you're so desperate, why did you not write in? Why did your sister write in?
Oh, she just got put on Front Street. Get spit on. This is kinda why I like Dr. Phil, because he puts these idiots up on a pedestal and then he just completely destroys them for national entertainment. Just one of the greatest human beings who's ever lived. Thank you, Dr. Phil. Thank you.
9 times.
9 times.
I guess I'm just complacent to it. I'm used to it.
I feel like I know what's wrong with him. My question is, what's wrong with you?
Wow. Breaking news, folks. Parent who bought child violent video games allowed him to get to the point where he's become aggressive, verbally assaults and bemeans everybody within the household, and who now has fear that the child will become a school shooter, is complacent in the actions because she has completely allowed this to go on for so long that it has become an issue. Breaking news, CBS News, right here, folks. 200 IQ level play. Yeah, you weren't expecting that because, you know, stupid people like this, they dissociate the problem away from them, and then when everyone's like, you know, it's you, they're like, oh, what? I'm the problem here?
You have a 12-year-old child yelling, "Get in here, peasant. Bring me this," and what do?
I do it.
You do it.
Oh, see, I called it. I called it, dude. I knew it. I knew it. Why would you allow this?
He locks you out of the house in the freezing rain and holds a sign up to the window, "I will let you in if you go get me Starbucks." And you go get it.
For the love of God, man, dude. I have a headache. My head has begun to hurt. I'm trying to process this so badly that the scripts in my head have frozen. My brain is currently like this.
I've been in school for the last 18 months, and I'm gone
Good.
4 nights a week
Right.
and 12-hour shifts on the weekends. And his dad has had anxiety disorder and heart issues, and so physically and emotionally, he wasn't able to handle him. And so by the time I got home from work, I work 40 hours a week as well. So by the time I got home, I'm just so tired and mentally and physically exhausted that I would just do whatever I had to do to keep the peace.
There we go. We finally opened up the root cause of the problem. Now, alright. The dad apparently couldn't handle him due to his physical mental issues. She's apparently unable to parent him because she works 40 hours a week and goes to school. So, am I the only one here seeing this? So, let me just explain. Basically what happened was that she bought him all these games and the game consoles, she sat him down in front of his TV while she went to work and school. The dad couldn't handle it because of his problems. So she actively allowed this video game console with these video games that she now decrees as violent murder machines. She allowed them to basically raise this child for God knows how long, and now that he has no respect towards his parents because they won't intervene and do anything about it, she's compliant with all of his demands and his ignorant behavior. Now it has to be the video game's fault. It's not her fault for not properly raising her child. It's not her fault for making accommodations to have someone there with him and properly have, you know, guidance and authority over him. There's nothing she can do. There's no boarding schools. There's no therapists. There's no programs to help children like that. You know, it's just the violent video game's fault. See, finally broke down to the root problem. It's the violent video games. It's not my bad parenting. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you for finally admitting it. That's gonna be it for the video, folks. We finally broke it down. We got it. Finally got someone to admit it. This is actually the first time I think it's just been this apparent what the problem was, because most of the time they try to hide details and stuff because it makes it easier to blame the game and whatnot, but finally we have somebody indirectly accidentally admit that they're just not a good parent. Now I should add that unfortunately the kid's dad did pass away in September. Probably isn't, you know, gonna make him want to get off the games any more than he already doesn't want to. I can guarantee that it's not going to help this kid and that it's probably playing a pretty big factor into the problem. However, with the mom situation, with working all the time and doing school and stuff, there are ways that you can benefit your child while doing all these different things at the same time. You need to find a way to get him interested in activities outside of video games, get him into sports or something, find something that he actually wants to do, but find something that isn't just sitting him in front of a video game until he doesn't become the kid you want him to be, and then you blame video games and you blame the people on the games instead of blaming your parenting. Part of being a parent is learning to actually accommodate different situations and deal with different scenarios. That's what parents have to do. This situation is no different. I hope that this becomes better. I hope this kid gets a little bit of help. I hope she gets some help, because this doesn't benefit anybody. That's going to be it for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you're brand new around here on my channel, follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below. Lots of great things going on down there as well. Thank you to my channel members for your $5 a month. Your support helps my channel tremendously. If you'd like to become a channel member and help support my content, you can do so by hitting the join button down below or the become a channel member link in the description. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, playing violent video games and becoming addicted, and signing out.